So, take it away, Boon. Pwede natin bigyan ng mic si Ayun, so disclaimer lang since medyo masama na talaga yung image ko. Well, totoo naman, masama na mga tao. Pero dahil naka-FB live tayo, kailangan dito. Ayun, so yung for past discussion ko sana today, ang balak kong mangyari, may tatlo kasi akong parang tatlong points akong i-discuss. Ang gusto ko sana mangyari, atakihin ko yung tatlong points na yun, i-defend mo. Yun sana yung kasi ang point ng exercise ko nito is ano eh. If ever kung ma-convince kita, edi mas may madadagdag kang choice para sa ideas mo. Kung ma-convince mo ako, mas magiging solid yung concept mo kasi mas pinaniniwalaan mo na. Story mo yan eh, kailangan mo dito. Hindi tayo na ipapataas ng ihig, di ba? Although, pag pataas ng ihig, lamang ako si mga angel. Ayun, tapos bibilisan ko lang ito. Bibilisan ko lang ito kasi sabi ni Romel sa ni DJ sa akin kagabi, gusto nila may 30 minutes each sila ng discussion. Joke lang. Ayun. So, konting ano pala, para lang hindi talaga masamang tingin. Yung, parang imagine mo yung parang sword, di ba? Kailangan mong i-temper, ipupukin ang pupukin para tumigas, para maging ma-temper sa gusto. Ayun, so, yung una ko sanang balak i-discuss is yung face. Una, tatanungin muna kita, sino muna ulit yung target mo na reader? Sino yung na-envision mo reader? YA, YA. So, ako, feeling ko naman, kasama ako sa age group na yon, yung YA. Regarding sa face, ako as a reader na young adult, for me, mas gusto ko sanang mas mabilis pa. Lalo na yung mga opening paragraphs. Kasi for example, yung memories, although yung memories, maganda yung pagkakasulat. We can deny that fact na maganda yung symbolism ng memories, hindi ko alam yung term, basta yung pagkakagamit ng memories. Yung mga ganong lines kasi, ako ma-appreciate ko, tayo ma-appreciate natin yun kasi writers tayo, di ba? Pero paano isipin mo kung yung readers mo, wala masyadong background, magagandahan sila, pero pag sinunod-sunod mo yun, may chance na masusuffocate sila. Kasi sunod-sunod. For example, ang ano ko dito, parang 3 pages ata yung dumaan bago nakapasok si Kate sa bahay. Parang nandun, di ba? So, 3 pages yung dumaan. Doon sa 3 pages na yon, puno yun ng memories. Which is, magaganda yung pagkakasulat. I'll give you that. Tapos, hindi naman sa ano, di ba? Hindi naman sa sinasabi kong tatanggalin mo yung mga memories na yun, all sa story mo. Ang hope ko lang is ma-distribute sana yung memories na yun to the other parts of your book. Kasi magagandang paghuhugutan yung mga memories na yun eh. May makita siyang patch of land, kaya maalala niya yung conflict niya sa pagpunta niya ng Maynila at saka pag-iwan ng probinsya. Pero ang suggestion ko sana is i-distribute mo sa book, wag mo isiksik lahat sa yung mga opening lines ng libro. So, kasi ang kalaban mo dito, hindi mo kalaban. Yung challenge mo dito, ang target readers mo, millennial. Ang kaaway mo, smartphone niya. Magbabasa siya ng libro, katabi niya yung phone niya. Kung nagbabasa siya ng pasunod-sunod kung wala pa siyang nakikita movement masyado sa story mo, tapos biglang nag-ilaw yung phone niya, matetempt siya, iwan yung libro mo saglit para basahin yung notification. So, yung point natin dito, padamihin yung readers mo Yun yung goal natin dito. Padamihin yung readers mo in such a way na yung first 1,000 words mo, hindi nila mabibitawan. Ayun. So, yun na. Okay. Depend. Wala ka pa. Sige. So, on that point pa rin, yung sa face pa rin, yung next kong i-raise is yung point naman doon sa part na, sa pacing mo, yung connection ng title sa first few paragraphs. Kasi yung title mo, At Home with Gracie, ano siya eh, maraming energy yung title mo eh. Kasi kung hindi mo pa nababasa yung synopsis siya yung chapter outline, makikita mo parang at home with crazy. So, sinong crazy? Bakit nasa kasama mo sa bahay? Yun yung mga questions na ma-raise eh. Kung hindi mo binasa yung synopsis siya chapter outline. Hindi mo alam na yung nanay niya yung baliw. Malay mo, para palang pwede mong isipin dahil YA nga. May boyfriend pala siya, tapos yun yung baliw, or serial killer niya. So, for example, yung kay Ma'am Pangga, na na yung na-discuss niya kahapon na bird by bird. Yun po ba yung title? Tanong ko ba? Bird by bird. Ano po? Yun po yung title?
Title din ng video.
Apo. Bird by bird. Ay, ano po yung may graveyard? Sorry. Yun po yun na yung may graveyard tree.
May alam na dito yun.
Yung title ko ay
The Ministry of Utmost Confidence.
The Ministry of Mali pala yun. Basta, ito na lang. Yung kay Ma'am Hidalgo, ay kay Ma'am Christina ko kanina, What Things Mean. What Things Mean, nagsimula agad siya, yung every start daw ng bawat chapter is may parang galing sa dictionary. Kung ako yung reader nun, honestly, hayop tong reader na ay hayop tong writer na to, niloko ko. Ito pala yung sabihin ng What Things Mean dictionary. Pero nasa-challenge ako as a reader. So, mainggan ako magbasa na kasi connected agad yung ano. So, yung sa'yo, may energy yung title mo ng At Home with Gracie, pero pagpasok mo sa story, parang siya nag-describe ng setting, yung pag-park ng car, ganyan. Parang siya nagbababila yung energy, nag-drop yung energy from the part na nag-expect na ako na sige, At Home with Gracie, so give me Gracie. Pag open ko ng book, ganyan. Ang nakita ko, hindi agad Gracie sa first few page, sa first page. So, tapos, ayun. Ano yun pala? For example, kaya ang title Green Meadows, pwede yung ganun. Kasi Green Meadows, di ba, parang i-describe mo talaga yung meadows. So, i-describe mo yung scene, ganyan. Pero yung sa'yo, At Home with Gracie, so dapat atake sa Gracie. Parang hinahanap pa agad yung conflict. Kasi yung title mo, may conflict agad. Ayun. So, yung pangalawang point na gusto ko sana i-discuss is yung role distribution ng sa characters. Yung distribution ng roles sa characters. So, kunyari, meron tayo ang pinaka-main conflict ng story mo is yung baliw yung mom niya at gusto niyang itago, di ba? Yun yung pinaka-main source ng lahat ng problems niya. Gusto niya, ayaw niyang malaman ng mga tao na crazy yung mom niya. Pero yung may hawak nung knowledge na yon is sister ng frenemy niya. So medyo madaming layers bago maabot yung hindi direct. So yung wala namang hawak yung sister ng frenemy niya diretso sa main character. Parang medyo malayo lang, may extra layer na dinaanan. Tapos yung sa medyo end na part na nung sa chapter outline mo, parang nung nagba-breakdown na si Kate ba yun, ang nag-help sa kanya para makatayo ulit is kakilala ng friend, tama ba? Yun yung nakalagay sa synopsis Hindi siya main character, kumbaga. Parang may layer ulit. So, mas hinahanap ko sana na yung roles since itong mga roles na ito, crucial siya sa maturity ng main character mo. Ang may hawak sana nito is yung mga, yung lagi mo nakikita, yung na-build up mo from the very start. So, mas maganda sa akong i-redistribute mo lang yung roles nila. Ayun. Tapos, ito, isa-isayin ko na yung mga characters. Si Sam, binild up mo siya sa synopsis tsaka sa chapter outline na supposed to be half annoying, half adorable. Pero dun sa mga unang nabasa ko, adorable lang siya. Diba? Wala pa siyang tendencies ng pagka-annoying, yung makikita mong pagka-annoying ng bata So, medyo na ano ako doon. Hinanap ko yung pagka-annoying niya kasi sabi mo half-half. So, tapos naman si Dad. So far, si Dad yung pinakamalapit para sa akin na buo yung character niya. Kasi, tipong malalaman mo kasing buong-buo na yung character kapag tipong pagpapasok siya sa story mo, ikaw na nagbabasa, pag pumasok siya sa story mo, alam mo na yung sasabihin niya or gagawin niya. Parang real na siya, parang nabuhay na siya ng character. Yun yung feeling ko kapag nagbabasa. Ayan. Tapos yung kay Kate naman, yung kay Kate naman, hindi ko ma-pinpoint kung saan banda talaga yung confusing sa character niya. Maybe because dun sa chapter outline tsaka synopsis, parang based kasi sa chapter outline synopsis, parang na describe siya. Yung pagkakadescribe siya, parang ako tingin ko sa kanya, hindi ko siya gusto. Parang masama siyang babae. Kasi ano po siya parang galit na galit sa nanay niya, parang kinakahiya niya yung nanay niya, parang ganun lahat. Tapos pagdating dun sa unang part ng libro, medyo okay naman pala. Kaya medyo na-confuse lang ako dun sa part na yun. Yung chapter outline sa synopsis papunta dun sa Excel. Tapos, ayun, so balik tayo sa distribution ng roles sa characters. Since parang slice of life na hindi yung action baril-barilan ganyan. For me as a reader, mas important yung pagkabuo ng characters, setting, tsaka yung mga memories. Dapat for me, mas in-expect ko na richer yun. So, I'm hoping na ma-improve yung characters. Mas maging parang solid yung personality nila na maririnig ko na talaga yung boses nila. So, yung pangatlong point na gusto ko sana i-raise is yung pangatlong gusto ko sana i-raise is yung level of crazy. Yeah. Kasi yun yung medyo bread and butter ng story mo kasi about craziness. So, yung first crazy scene, yung sa restaurant, yung nagwala yung mom. Ayan. Ano pa? Kasi yung nakakita ng pagka-crazy niya is yung di ba? I'm assuming yung may highlights na buhok na babae na yung kapatid ng Renee. Di ba? Kung ibabasa mo yun sa real life, una sa lahat, bago pa mangyari yung pagwawala ng nanay, wala siyang pakidapat. Kasi may friends siya, mas dun naka-engage yung utak niya, hindi sa surroundings niya. So, wala siyang idea na may kakayahan yung nanay nung ila natin na mag-shift from normal to crazy. Gets? Parang hindi niya pa dapat na-witness yung pagka-normal ng nanay pumasok lang sa isip nung nakakita, nung naka-witness na pumasok lang sa utak niya yung character ng nanay since nung wala na siya. Ayun. So, tapos, ayan, mag-ano lang ako tungkol sa experience ko. Nung bata ako, sikat di ba yung mga Ghost Fighter sa hapon, ganyan. Mga Ghost Fighter, Diamonds. Pero sikat din nung panahon natin ang siesta. Pag matutulog nanay mo, kailangan mo rin matulog sa ayaw mo sa hindi. So, nung time na yun dati, tumakas ako sa kama at nanood ng TV kasi nga nandun na yung Ghost Fighter ko. Ang ginawa sa akin ng mom ko, syempre, dahil nagalit siya na nag-disobey ako, pinalo ko ng pinalo, umiyak ako ng umiyak, pinalagdag ako palabas ng gate, pinalabas ako ng gate, tapos, nilakan ako ng gate. So, pero for me, hindi pa yun crazy. For me, sinagad ko lang yung pasensya ng nanay ko. Galit na galit lang siya. Which is, yun yung nangyari dun sa scene sa restaurant for me. Parang, kung ako yung makakita nun, hindi ko maiisip pa na crazy enough pa yung mom. But, for me, vulgar lang. Vulgar lang sa pagkagalit niya. Hindi pa yun yung level ng crazy na hinahanap ko. Tapos, lastly, May nakita kasi akong episode sa MMK. Medyo connected siya din sa story mo. Yung nangyari doon is, parang ang story may lola, tapos may yung syempre yung anak niya pati yung asawa, tapos may mga apo. Doon naman yung mga apo yung kinakahiya yung lola nila na baliw. Which is yung lola na baliw yun kasi namatay ng asawa dati, tapos meron siyang 4 na anak, isa-isang namatay yung mga anak niya hanggang sa isa na lang natira. Tapos nung time na nababaliw siya, mawawala siya, pupunta siya sa ibang probinsya para magtrabaho kahit may kapansanan siya. Pagbalik niya, minsan buntis siya, minsan nanakawan na siya. So may bagong anak, which is mamamatay ulit. Kasi sobrang daming nangyari sa kanya. So yun yung naging effect kaya nasagad din yung mentalidad niya. Suggestion ko lang i-check mo din, baka mapagkuha ng experience na patuloy. Yun.
Okay, itong At Home with Gracie, yung At Home, yung sa title, hindi lang siya, I think, not just being at home with a crazy person, hindi yan, I think it's about being used to it, no? Being at home with the idea of crazy, or what is crazy. Yung crazy na yun is I'm not sure what it is, no? Parang sinabi lang to try to kill herself. So, this is possibly a medical condition, no? May doktor tayo dito. So, it has to be, is she bipolar? Is she, So, it has to be made clear in the book, finally. Ano ba yung kanyang, ano ba yung kanyang condition? Bipolar siya. So, if it's that, then there has to be some insight, some medical insight into how to cope with it. Kasi yung tinatanong niya, bakit mo pinakwento ito? Kung tungkol ito sa pagiging bipolar, sa pagiging, I've always said, sa mga estudyante, I think si Kat was one. Sino ka dyan? No? If I look at the text, especially kung mahaba yan, sino ka dyan? If you're not in their book, hindi mo matatapos. You have to be invested in you have to be there. You have to be a present. And you better know at some point, sino ka. And I think, probably, looking at Kat, even her name, siya yung guide. Siya yung guide dito. At kwento niya ito. So I don't know how much of it is autobiographical. Mukhang marami siyang alam tungkol sa character na to. And so maybe one of the dangers here is if there's too much autobiographical information, then you will sort of go in circles. So nagiging diary mo, ganito nangyayari. And I think that's what Wool is asking. So I think kwento ka agad. Diba? If it's like, although yung millennials thing, medyo, I think we are, pinamata natin sila kung sabi natin na kaagad na. Dahil millennial, hindi, I think, as far as the Philippines is concerned, you can ask the publishers. There's probably more readers now than ever. And most of them are millennials. They read. So, natin matahin na hindi magpapasalan na may gadget or whatever. They can probably do multitask. So, yun. But still, ano yung book nga? Kung crazy, ano ka agad? No? Kasi ang first chapter mo is the Manila. Okay, so very important yung condition. In terms of the language, wala na problema. No? From the start. Because it's competent. No? It's very competently written. But finally, ang kwento ay kwento ni Kat cannot be anyone else's. At the mother. It's really Makal and the mother. It's that sort of a story, mother and daughter. And may mga template na tayo dyan. Postcards of the edge, things like that. The mother and daughter thing. And if it's a mother and daughter story, in the end, what is the story? What is the fear of any daughter? Diba? Is to be the mother. At heart, the fear of the daughter, just like the fear of the son, is you'll end up like your father. whether or not you like, ba? Kahit nagalit ka sa tatay mo, and then tatay, you become him. And dito papunta to, the mother, si daughter, and then, siya yung mother, ano yung fear niya? Baliw rin ako. Diba? Kung siya ay bipolar, may genetic, ano to, ay maaaring dala rin niya. No? So I want to see that fear. Ano ba talaga yung conflict niya? What is really the problem? Aside from the algebra and all these things, well, common na po ng bata. No? Ayaw niya malaman na meron siyang sikreto, mother. But, hindi, kung ganun lang, I don't think the novel will rise to any height, even if it's YA. In the end, what is the insight of Kai about her mother? About being crazy? Nasaan meron yung maturity niya? Because it's a growing up story. It's a YA, it's a rite of passion, it's her maturity. Yeah. Her maturity. So, paano siya, kasi magiging adult siya through this whole process of finding out, bakit ganun ang nanay ko? Yeah. The father naman seems to be nice, no? Hindi naman because of abuse or, we don't know. So, I don't know where the dark side is. May craziness ka dito I do not get a hint of what and the same thing I always ask the students. Where's the dark side? Parang sa Star Wars. Nasaan yung darkness? Because you give something that is hidden. So paano, ano malalaman niya? About the mother, about sanity, hindi, yan. Nasabi niya po, so kung ganun lang, nagalit lang, yun na ba yun? Insanity na ba yun? Napaka-chismis lang. Diba? Kasi ang only thing we know so far is that kasi pinag-chismis siya ng hometown. No? So they move. Parang they keep on moving because of the mother. No? But she maybe just to be more than maybe chismis na suicidal or baka she tried to set fire to the church. Diba? For you to move, meron kang ginawang talagang pinapa-alliance na kayo ng mayor. Kaya salot ka, mga ganun, bakit ka... So it has to be that burden, that onus dun sa family, na may mayroon ng ganung member, na tuloy sila. Diba, yung Salome, yung kwento. And then, they have to move, they keep on moving because of this. She has to be a burden. She has to be this burden that they have. Okay, and then finding out why or how to deal with it. Before you become at home, be crazy. What is that crazy? Yeah. So if it's that more than anything else, that's the story. That's the mother. The mother. Ano ba? So kung siya ay bipolar, or whatever condition that is, we have to know. Okay, and
hello. Yung boses ko. So, medyo nahihirapan talaga akong mag-comment dahil parang siguro ako kami anak ko as a reader, mas as a reader kaysa sa bilang apa na susulat niya. So, unang napansin ko as a reader ay magaan siya basahin. Kumbaga, doon pa lang alam ko na dahil at sinabi mo rin na why is talaga to. Siguro yun, matagumpay na yung wika na ginamit. At, pero yung, siguro kung ako yung, dahil naman ko kumbaga, tayo yung mga unang reader ng mga gawa natin. Bilang reader, siguro nakulangan lang ako dun sa unang exposition nung nanay na dapat mas maganda siguro kung yung hinahanap ko bilang leader ay mas maganda kung na-expose ng mas maaga yung kondisyon ng nanay. Tsaka yung kondisyon ng pagiging baliw, sang-ayon ako rin sa sinabi nila Sir Charleston, na ano siya, kulang siya sa pagiging baliw. Parang nakulangan ako rin sa kalidad ng pagiging baliw. Kaya nga medyo naalala ko yung diwata ng pagkahulog. Walang diwata. Meron dong isang part lang na may baliw na binabato-bato nila. Tapos, napansin ko na ang naging kalakasan ng baliw dun sa nobela ay meron siyang repetitive na behavior na lagi-lagi niyang ginagawa. Tingin ko, maganda kung mapag-isipan na may akda yung gano'n kung magkakaroon ng isang bagay na ginagawa yung nanay na repetitive, baka mas mapapansin ka agad na magaling ko. Bawa yung sa walang diwata. Ano siya? Baby niya yung pusang itim. Tapos, maging yung pusang itim na may rin siya, may bigat din siya kasi para kang paniniwala sa bayan nung sa novela ay siya, pagka nakasalubong ka nun, malas yung araw mo parang ganyan. So, siguro parang bibigay rin siya ng suggestion dun sa metapora or dun sa backstory ng nanay na tingin ko isa rin sa pwede pang pag-isipan kung ano ba talaga yung nangyari rin sa nanay or ano yung nanay bago siya naging nanay or ano yung nalalaman nung persona na nagsasalita rin sa novela. Tungkol dun sa nanay niya, bago siya naging ganun. Yung mga ganung, siguro, kailangan pag-isipan, tingin ko. Kasi dun sa, maganda ng title niya, nakuha ko rin yung ganung idea ng Mr. Charleston na idea rin siya ng pagiging, parang na-normalize sa kanya yung pagkabalo. Pero tingin ko mas magiging, mas magiging mabigat yung idea na magiging normal sa kanyang pagkabalo kung meron talagang isang mas parang malaking pangyayari doon sa nanay na masasabi mo talaga na balo ko. So yun. Tapos doon sa napansin ko kasi dahil yung pagkakasulat niya may pagka-linear tapos chronological niya. Tingin ko kung ipupush yung ganong estilo nitong structure nito, tingin ko mas hahanapan ko pa siya bilang reader ng twist niya. Ano ba yung maaring mangyari ko dun sa, di ba parang kasi may ang pinaka niya, naging parang twist ay yung character na nagsasalita sa wakas nasabi niya na rin sa isang kaibigan niya or na ganun yung kondisyon na nanay. Kasi parang hinahawak-hawakan niya yung di ba, throughout the novel. Parang sinasabi niya na hindi ko kayang sabihin sa isang tao na ito yung kondisyon na nanay. Ito yung pinapapansin ko sa nanay. Tingin ko maaari pang dagdagan ng twist siguro. Yun, kung ako yung nagbabasa siya. Tsaka yung, siguro yung isolation din kung ako yung mag-reverse nito or ako yung mag-decide kung paano ko papaan yung relasyon ng nanay. Tsaka yung pagiging normal ng pagiging, or yung pagiging crazy dun sa tauhan, dun sa bida ng babae. Ay, siguro mag-aano ko ng mas panahon para ma-isolate yung anak tsaka yung nanay na doon kasi magkakaroon ng na mga observation ng anak doon sa pagbabago ng behavior ng nanay, ganyan. Doon sa mata lang ng isang 7-year-old na babae, ganyan. So, doon, siguro doon, mas magkakaroon ng drive para ma-discuss na pa yung background ng nanay, ganyan. So, yun lang yung sabi. Pero overall, ganda ng novela. Ito, maganda siyang ma-push as YA talaga. Maganda yung pagkakasulat. Maganda yung work.
Una note lang sa mga millennials. millennial. Dahil sa karanasan ko bilang nagtuturo sa undergrad, ang magagaling yung mga bata. Of course, primarily, millennial concerns yung kanyang thesis. At the same time, amazing yung senior high actually. Karanasan ko, may minimedya ang mga senior high, sumusulat sila ng nobela. Ang amazing, no? Ang dami nilang gustong gawin, and actually, no, magagaling sila. So anyway, I think pwede mo pag-isipan na nang pinasa ko ito, pagdating ko sa page 58, marami na nagsimula yung novela sa page 49. Pagdating ko sa page 58, para sa akin ka, dito actually talaga nasa-start yung story mo. No? Tingnan natin halimbawa yung yung paragraph na nagsisimula, and it always came close to my family. But in the past year, and my insights feel revealed at admitting this, I have been entertaining this desire to get away from them, especially from mom. So, just try to imagine kung ito yung unang mong pahina. Ako, I would be more interested to read kasi dito mo na signify yung conflict. And yung conflict between mom and daughter, ay universal yan, no? And then, so maraming, kaya gusto ko sundan yung punto kanina ni Sir Charleston na, yun, I think you need to identify kasi nalata mo naman ngayon. So ngayon mga napag-isipan, ano talaga yung kwento mo? Like in one sentence, no? Kagaya yung mga punto ko kahapon, what is really about mom and daughter, no? And, tingin ko rin sa experience ko with YA, lalo na kapag sila yung in-expect mo talagang readers, ay dapat advance, no? Kasi magagaling na yung mga millennials ngayon eh. Ang daming choices, no? So I think isa sa kalakasan yung tone, no? Yung gusto mo pang i-push, kung medyo biographical ito ka or saan ka dito, I think it's time to be more imaginative and as well depart from, di ba? Kasi medyo napakabait na, para sa akin, mabait pa siya. So, ano yung something, no? Ano yung tone, ano yung something? It's either the landi, di ba? Or the irreverent tone, no? Usually, yung irreverent tone, no? Yung subversive tone ng mga YA, no? So ito, bakit talagang kinahiya na yung paging crazy ng ma'am? For me, normal na nga. Eh, parang it's so common na. No? So ako, hindi na ako nasa-shock. Or yung, at least akin, no? And I think kung babasahin mo yung mga millennials ngayon, napaka-normal na concern ito. Kasi yung iba naman, kahit binubuli palaban, di ba? So I think magandang i-identify ng character, ano yung kanyang magiging attitude in relation sa issue na ito. No? And I think yun yung kanyang magiging mark or signature din. No? So it's really the tone, no? The attitude, the sensibility, na posibleng mas makakapag-hook pa sa readers in relation sa theme na gusto mong i-advise.
Okay. Dalawa. Unang, ano yung problema? Pag nakita na yung problema, ano solusyon para magamit ito? Yeah, minarkahan ko yung page 58. And so on. Yung unang problema dito is too linear. So what do you do with that? Ang dami mong ina-account, pampahaba lang yun eh. Hindi naman, why is it so linear? Yung kasi hindi makapasok yung kwento. Tapos ang kantsaw ko dito, uy kantsaw to, huwag mo ko dito seryoso, baka matagdag akong character dito. Okay, mga away ng writer, gagawin sa yung controversy. Maliwanag. Yung ang tawag ko sa ganitong limitasyon ng mga bata, Lerargo stories, yung tinukwento niya lang nakikita niya. So, marami kang pwedeng pag-gamit. No? Yung manaka-naka, mag-pause ka. Pag nakita mo na, mag-introspection ka na. Pero yung, paano mo i-brown out? Ano mangyayari sa story mo? Kaya ang Lerargo stories yung tawag ko dyan. Magkukwento ka pa rin. Meron kang nararamdaman sa loob. Meron kang natatas. Meron kang naririnig. I-utilize mo lahat yun. Lalo na kung ang sabi mo, first person, hindi ka makakatakap. Tapos boring ka na kung ang kinukwento mo lang yung nakikita. O solution nyo sa pagiging linear. Ang second problem dito, point of attack. Saan ka magkukwento? Sa page 53, nag-umpisa ka pala. summarize ka na agad. Pwedeng i-edit o gawin mong ito. Yung nandoon ka sa ganda-ganda dito eh. Now that I am 70. So, i-edit ka muna. Ano ba ito? I-edit ka na agad. Nung I am 17, yung tone of the story. So, uunawain mo lang ito o yung sensibility ng isang 17-year-old girl. Pagka yung na-explore mo yun, liliwanag yung boses, liliwanag yung direction, and then mapagbibigyan ka dun sa limitation mo. Pwede ka na magpanggap ngayon na mag-ikot-ikot ka, hindi naman dubeta to. Pag nahihirapan ka, actually, tingin ko rito si NFF, iba naman yung estilo na pagsusulat ng CNF at saka ng young adult, no? Anyway, balik tayo doon sa I'm 17. I'm seeing my fair share of them to know that it was true. Tapos na. At na-resolve mo na eh. There were the sincere ones, the mechanical ones, bad ones, nervous ones, and unfortunately, over the last especially, I am familiar with the smiles nobody wants to see. Aral. Ito't isang sentence mo lang ginawa, yun nga yung thesis mo. Ang problemahin mo ngayon, maganda ba itong pag-umpisa o pagwakas o isang buong chapter ito papunta sa huli. Okay, let's move on. Ang title mo, At Home with Gracie, hindi ko maintindihan si Gracie. Manaka-naka, kasi hindi naman siya yung persona. Gusto ko siyang makilala. But then, kami ng story ba ito talaga? Giveaway naman kung yung At Home with Gracie, yung Gracie nga yung bilan. Baka gusto ko makita yung kabaliwang na pupuo doon sa 17-year-old girl. Kaya lang, paano mo ikukwento sa point of view ng first person? But for all you know, ang in pain dito, tatay eh. Tatay. Imagine mo, ganun-ganun ka. Trying to keep your cool, tapos paano ko yung mahal ko, ganyan, ano gagawin mo? So, wala man ang attempt na explore, makita yung tatay. Imagine naka-deche-deche yung negosyo dahil doon sa asawa, ay hindi yun madali para sa anak. Remember, 17 ka lang, uunawain mo lang. Ano yung problema ng 17-year-old girl kung young adult dito? Di gusto ko makita doon yun. Perhaps gusto ko makita yun doon. Lahat na yun, sabi mo na yung sarili mo. Tapos, yung istorya, pero may isa pang opening eh. Yung binanggit ni Jen, I had always been close to my family. Wow, ganda na ano. Tapos, ang next na i-develop mo, yung paglalayo, yung salit na yung closeness, yung disassociation, yung kahihiyan na gusto mo. And then, sa page 59, meron na naman isang magandang opening. Yung sabi ng nanay, o baka yung mga ganun, gamitin mo pang-umpisa ng chapter din. Sabi ng nanay, nasa page 59 na ba? Yes, of course, we won't cause any trouble. Ang ganda naman. Tapos ang kasunod, trouble. No, yung chapters, pinag-iisipan yun eh. Kaya mahirap yung linear. Pinag-uusapan mo ano yung opening line ng bawat chapter. Para yung thesis mo na I am 17, pagdating mo sa dulo, I'm 17, and wiser. No? So, hindi pala yung isulat ka lang ng sulat. Pagka yung design mo, halimbawa yung ginagawa ko biography ni Rizal. Alam mo, ganun kataas yung draft nun eh. Nung nirevise ko, ganun. Ang pangit. Kasi yung mga opening ng chapters, boring. So, yung lagi, hindi mo mapipilit yung reader basahin ka eh. Lalo hindi mo mapipilit na pilit ka. So, paghihirapan mo yun. Parang yung tinghaharap ka sa salamin, maganda pa ba ako? Yung bawat chapter, ganun din. Matino pa ba ako? Baka nakakailangan mo ng maligo. Oo, i-overhaul. So, yung binanggit ko na kanina, yes, of course, I won't cause any trouble. Magandang pang-umpisa yan. Tapos, sa page 60, meron na namang, ito namang pang-foreshadowing na gamitin mo, pwedeng pang-umpisa rin. Yung sa linya, Mom leaned her head against the frame as her eyes surveyed the room we were all standing in. Di ba ang ganda rin nun? Ano kaya yung nakikisip ng nanay? Ano kaya yung nakikita ng nanay? Kasi siyempre hindi mo alam yun. Pero ikaw ang magsusupply nun. Ano yung nararamdaman mo nung gano'n. Nakukuha mo pa ako. Actually, nag-umpisa ka lang sa page 58 ka lang eh. Pagkatapos, yung sa page 61, kaya ko binabanggit ito, pag-iwan-iwalayin mo. Kasi, sinaksak mo yung i-resequence. Sa page 61, meron na rin dito yung just as I reached the bottom of the spiral staircase, I heard my parents' voices coming from the kitchen. Medyo tried, no? Lumang estilo na to ng telenovela, yung naiwan yung pitong nakapukas, namin na nalubusap. Then baka it may work dito. Tapos ito yung marinig niya. I don't want to go to the doctor. Diba? Ang dami, why are you not going to see a doctor? So ang daming pain nun. Ang daming i-reread nun. Para gamitin mo lang na gano'n yung dialogue. Yung mga gano'n, idea ito eh. Ita-digest mo. Tapos, he hasn't been feeling well. Sabi ng tatay. Tapos bigla sumagot yung nanay, you know, it's impossible to forget. What is it that you want to forget, which you cannot forget? And that is, again, another chapter. So, tapos, we are not trying to forget. We just need to move forward. Napakapunong-puno ng drama yun eh. So, kasi kinukwento mo lang yung nakikita mo, yung narinig. But really, what transpired? What's going on? Ano yung dinidevelop na thesis ito? Kaya nasabi ko, in the end, sino yung nababaliw dito? Paano i-handle kung 17 ka lang? Tapos ganyan yung mga dialogue na naririnig mo. Hindi mo yun, synthesize mo. Tapos, ito yung ang ganda-ganda, pwede na naman pang foreshadowing to eh. I sense a pleading in Dad's voice. Great seriousness that I felt almost embarrassed to have heard. Diba? So suddenly, yung tatay, yung nanay, ay ikaw, ay naging isa. So, yung maganda yung kahapon yung lecture ni Glenn, yung narratology, yung nasa beginning, middle, end. Ito yung dinidistribute ko na. Ikaw na bahala kung alin yung middle, beginning, end mo. Tapos sa page 62, yung sa umpisa niya, ito na yung kwento ng tatay. Na alam mo ba, bihirang-bihira yung drama na ang bida lalaki. Na kasi yung macho society, laging ang capable ng drama, babae. Pero yung nire-reveal ko rito sa 62, drama to ng tatay. Why not? Ba't hindi siya isang chapter? Pwede bang yung tatay umiyak? Pwede ba yung tatay mag-chismis? Pwede ba yung tatay sa patriarchal society, hindi naman kikipo yun eh. Kaya nga yung mga lalaki, unang namamatay eh. Kaya nga yung mga lalaki nakakalpo eh. Kaya nga yung pag sinurvey mo yung mental hospital, majority ron lalaki eh. Kasi hindi niya mailabas yung pain. No? But then, ang po-problemahin mo, you are 17. But then, hindi gawin mo ng bote 17. Anong tingin mo sa tatay mo pag namong problema? Kung yung nanay mo, igawanan sa'yo, yung tatay mo nga lang matino, kanino ka magsisimpatay? So, pagka yung ginanon mo, uusad na yung story. Nagbigay lang ako ng ilang, halimbawa, to help him yung revision. For after all, lagi kong ulitin, huwag matakot mag-revise. Madaling mag-revise, mahirap magsulat. So, pag ito ilang pages na to, dagdagan mo pa. Huwag kang maniwala sa amin na sinasabi. So, magsulat ka lang ng magsulat. Pagka yung nasulat mo na lahat ito yung gano'n, saka mo ko pakinggan. Saan maganda ito ilagay sa gitna ba ito? So, di ba ito? But always, pagkagawa ka ng chapter, maganda ba? Ito yung salita na gagamitin ko. Babasahin pa ako pag ito. Otherwise, yung problema mo, babalik ko, solve it. Huwag kang magkwento ng yung as is na nakikita mo lang. For after all, yung novel writing ay art form din.
Hi, sorry. I'm gonna give you my comments if I don't because some of my comments actually are connected to Sir Charleston's comments and Booth's comments from Penn. So, and a lot of you have mentioned like her mental condition has to be made clear, medical insight has to be included. But I personally think that am I correct? This is something that the story plans on tackling later on. Because if I recall correctly, the mom hasn't seen a doctor yet. And I think the reason for this is that the community that we lived in didn't encourage seeking help from mental health professionals. And so this ties in with Boo's comment earlier, the norms of society in the world of the narrative haven't been dictated enough to define what it means to be crazy. And that is true. And this connects with my critique that this connects with the narrative's duty to construct the norms of society from the get-go pa lang. So that's one critique. And then, Boone mentioned earlier that the connection of the title with the first few paragraphs, there is a power imbalance. The title has a lot of energy, but the start of the story doesn't follow this up. I kind of disagree, because I actually like how the title provides a form of deceit. We need to know what is normal before we know what is crazy. Especially since the story, even from the first chapter pa lang, seems to deal with the stigmatization of mental illness. And my comment about the stigmatization of society in your world is that I hope that at some point you will make a move to reconcile the title with the notion that the protagonist is not in fact home with crazy, like someone who's mentally ill and being left untreated for it, but with her family's eccentricities instead. Like which includes someone who is mentally ill, but is seeking treatment and is being treated with love and respect. And then another one of Boone's comments is that Kite, she sounds bad because she sounds like she hates her mother. And I also disagree with that because she never sounded like she hated her mother to me. She just sounds like someone who has had to deal with a society who rejects people like her mother. Right? And that ties into my comment about character naman. Because maybe this comment is unwarranted because we're yet to see real character development. Kasi wala pa nga masyadong ganun. But I think something that you should include from the get-go pa lang is how different the protagonist is now when the story is starting to how she was before. Like it's not just in the way she talks, but also in how she looks at the world. Her family ran away from the province to escape the judgment, but we don't yet see just how far their previous community took their condemnation. And I think as readers, we should be privy to this kind of information so that we can glean a deeper understanding of how some of the characters' decisions, like why the father made an impulse decision to buy an apartment, why the protagonist was all about smiles, and how she connects them to a memory of someone hurting her sister. Like how we can glean a deeper understanding of those decisions. And currently, this pre-story character development only manifests in her actions when she sees Georgia while she's at the church with her family. she's not, she makes an active move to run away from her family. And I don't know if that used to be something that the protagonist never thought of doing before, but I think it would be the language's job to render to the reader the gravity of that kind of movement. And okay, so like medyo, we're not iffy, the kind of iffy, sorry. But again, it's a comment about language that there are some instances where the English used in the dialogue is questionable. Like I wouldn't actually hear normal people saying it, but you know, so. An example is at page 69, in the quote, she's talking with her father. Are we destitute? And like I don't expect to hear that in a conversation. And then at page 72, her face contorted. The verb contorted, it's very like you would normally use that word in a horror context if ever you want to describe a facial expression. So parang I suggest like a different word for it. And then a possible revision point for your language is that it's just a possibility. There is no difference from the language used narrating with the language used in a dialogue. And I consider this a missed opportunity because with the story's tension between what society thinks of mental illness and how the family copes with society's stigmatization, even contrasting the family's dialogue with the protagonist's thoughts would already provide a telling juxtaposition that could ease the reader more into this pervasive tension. So, and then you sorry, last. While one of the novel's main prospects is character development, particularly the protagonist's own perception of mental illness, I'm interested to see how it would pan out to include the contemporary zeitgeist surrounding the topic of mental illness. Twitter and Facebook have become popular platforms for disseminating easily digestible information on how you can help a friend with mental illness or how you can deal with yours. How do these social cultural factors interact with the narrative? Thank you.
Sorry, can I just make some comments as well, please? So, I'll make these comments not as a critic, but I guess as a reader for this work, because it is I can kind of relate to it on some level. So just first off, I really like the language in this. It's not like some of the other stories where I can implant myself as a character. It's more like that person, your character in the story type is like somebody I know. And literally in real life, I know somebody like her who would actually ask something like, "Are we destitute?" Like she would say that, and to the point that she even fell asleep on a bed. This is an emergency room bed that she wasn't supposed to sleep on. So that it's a believable character that I can relate to. You've heard this; they pretty much said it. I guess I would just like to see. I would have liked to see more of the impact of the craziness from the mother. Meaning not just how she's crazy, because I guess maybe in the other chapters it's established, but kind of the effect on Ike and on her family, because usually that's how it is. Because in the story, the craziness is normalized. It's casual for Ike, but for the reader it might not be so much. Because maybe like it's too on the nose, but something like, guys like, oh, there goes mom, burning down the church again, they're trying to stop her. I'm kind of somewhat familiar, with bipolar. It's not my mom; it was a previous. So it's like for them, arguing, shouting at each other in the family is totally normal. But I'm sitting in the living room like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, is the family falling apart around me? But for them, it's totally normal. So for outside looking in, that would have provided, this would have been a good opportunity to provide that lens. Because the horrific realization comes gradually that something might not be so right. And it's been a while since I've read it, but A Child Called It kind of does that well. He sets up his mom in the story, and then it all goes to crap. And then you realize the mother's insane. Unless you're saving that for a later part in your book, like Gone Girl, where she frames her husband or something. She frames the dad in the story or something. Or if you guys know the song Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, it's a very regular rock song, and the last stanza it goes insane. So that's just it. As a reader, again, as a critic, this is something I would have liked to see maybe more outside kind of looking in, kind of explain to the reader this is what it's like living with that illness, or somebody with that illness rather, and the effect on the individual, especially a 17-year-old girl. Because, you know, everybody said, I remember when I was 17. So when you said that, like, I'm 17 years old, I got transported back to when I was 17 and all the hormones and the acne and all that stuff. I'd like to cremate. And this hasn't been brought up yet, but I can't remember the exact page, but at the Japanese resto where she's talking about sashimi, and I guess she told Sam, Ty tells Sam to choose the sashimi, the restaurant, because it's kind of out of the way, and the line there is low radar, and it seems to be a conglomerate of low profile or under the radar. So, yeah, so maybe, I guess the point is here that family is trying to maintain a low profile. So, just a heads up, maybe.
So hi ka. As a YA reader and also YA writer, and siguro primarily because I'm a health professional, I really like the premise of your novel. And so, so much so that I think it's important and timely, lalo na dahil there's a rising awareness already on mental health nowadays, lalo na nung pinas ng sa wakas yung mental health bill in the country. Okay? So, I think it's very important and timely. So, the premise of discussing yung nakita ko kasi as I was reading through your synopsis and chapter outline, you want to show through this novel is, I don't know, and this is just my perception, yung views and perceptions on mental illness of society and how it changes a family's dynamics. Being yung the person who I would think would serve as yung parang primary caregiver, the one being depended upon, siya yung inflicted upon by this illness. So I think yun nakita kong pinaka-premise ng story. And in connection with that, because this is YA, you also discussed issues such as yung sense of identity, finding your independence, and navigating the relationships between family and friends on Kite's perspective, no? Na may halong bigat kasi while she's establishing pa nga yung relationship niya with her family, dadagdagan pa doon yung problem na something's not right with my mom. Parang ganun. Throughout the sample chapters, I can't help it. So, sinatry ko talagang i-diagnose si mommy. Meron siyang times na he showed periods of yung blank stares. Yung times na yun, parang I was leaning towards MDD, so major depressive disorder, yung parang tulala na siya, may mabigat siya iniisip. So, kaso kasi I read your, yung outline, so parang alam ko na may trigger incident behind that. And then later on, meron siyang manic incident triggered by yung sound lang ng nahulog na spoon, parang gano'n, di ba? So, pag ganito kasi, pag may both major depressive episode and a manic episode, I would agree na parang bipolar to. Which, I don't know kung would be good considering yung trigger incident mo kasi is yung what happened with the miscarriage, di ba? I would consider siguro na mas affected siya kunwari by sights of kunwari infants, ganun, rather than yung sound lang, kumbaga, ng it's parang may disconnect lang there somewhere. Although I don't know, kasi nga, diseases naman don't work in a box, di ba? Patients behave differently. Symptoms manifest also differently. So, I don't know. So, kung maybe consider na parang if you would actually really define the mom's diagnosis as, siguro I would lean more towards the depressive disorder. Lalo na dahil mas may connotation to dun sa, you mentioned stuff kasi na it's gotten to the point na she tried suicide already. So, hindi lang to something you would take lightly na dapat eh. Kasi umabot na siya sa point na may harm to self and actually also harm to others na daughter pa niya, di ba? So, I don't know if I would agree dun sa parang perspective and reaction ni Kite dito. Kasi, sa ngayon kasi dun sa nabasa kong chapters, mas shame pa yung pinapakita niyang emotion. Pati si Father, parang diba, let's get out of here, let's keep a low profile, let's move out of the countryside into the city to start a new ganyan. Kasi parang iba na yung tingin nila natin. Rather than think or consider the fact that they almost lost this important member of their family. So, ayun. Maybe think about that weight na hindi ko masyadong na-feel dun sa chapters and also dun sa outline. I also have parang mixed feelings dun sa use of the word crazy itself. Medyo kalaban kasi itong word na crazy eh, ng doctors and also the patients, no? Because yung stigma connected with it, the judgment, yung parang negative thoughts about the word crazy. This is the main reason kung bakit ayaw magpatingin ng patient sa doctor. Maybe nga, I don't know kung ito din yung one of the reasons why the mom probably doesn't want to see the doctor. Kasi parang, I'm not crazy, why should I see a doctor? I'm just grieving. Parang ganun kasi yung perspective niya. Maybe, use the word in, ang sinagot niya, maybe it's possible to use the word in such a way that reflects yung parang may care and sensitivity. Tapos minimize yung dating niya as derogatory. Parang gano'n. This is also siguro, because I'm thinking about how this would be taken by people who would actually read this with mental illnesses, no? Kasi they also don't think they're crazy. They realize that this is an illness, no? I'm not crazy, I'm ill. I'm under treatment. And siguro, to end on a lighter note, tinignan ko dito, city girl Angeli does not understand province life. So, hindi ko alam kung gaano ka-rural or urban si Kawayan Isabela. Tama ba? Sa Isabela. Ginugel ko yun yung lumabas. So, I don't know kung saan yung province talaga nila kayo. Tapos, kasi inisip ko kasi, how would, another stress to yun eh, lumipat sila to the city, no? From a very rural area. Tapos, later on, she makes fun of the idea of wet markets in the supermarket. Pero parang feel at home siya sa Home Depot. Kasi natulog pa siya dun sa, Pero, ayun, I don't know lang. Siguro kung talagang may, it's a really different environment. Showcase it, but at the same time, remember that changing your home environment is a stress factor and how this would affect yung family life nila. Also, with our patient, stressed. So she would probably react to this and have an episode. Thank you. Oh.
Nakikinig ako sa'yo na yung research yun eh. Tama naman, maganda naman. Paano ngayon gagawin boses ng YA yan? Ibig sabihin, ano yung suggestion mo para maging readable yung dissertation? Maganda, ang kondon, ano mga bagay na hindi natin alam, pwede naman i-research. So, kaya maganda nung ipin-provide mo na pati yung paano titignan yung mga ganito. Ang challenge ngayon, nakikinig ako so, paano yung strategy na nakikita mo na yung sa napakahirap na konsepto ay gagawin mo readable, ang audience mo ay young adult.
Paisip ako, sir. I think yun nga yung one of the challenges ng novel. And also a lot actually, habang binabasa ko yung parang manuscript of this workshop, a lot of people actually had efforts to create a manuscript on mental health. No? I think considering our audience as YA, and siguro the first step would be actually to help them realize that this is a reality, which I think you're already attempting to do. This is a reality happening now, and to kind of help direct the image that this is an illness. This can be treated. There are people you can approach to help you deal with this. And siguro parang I hope kasi parang throughout yung parang story, there comes a realization na parang she makes a realization na parang mali pala yung common belief of society. There's no need for a stigma. Parang ganun. Does that answer your question? Medyo confused ako.
That's why I'm thinking, no, na pwede siyang structure in terms of, very linear, no, talagang the growing up. First, yung shape, but it will be a story of making sense. Bakit ganito yung mom ko? No? So, kaya may transformation. And ito na yung knowledge na naging ng character na ito rin yung makukuha ng reader. So, magiging ano siya, di ba? Mas helpful siya. Ito rin yung nararamdaman ko sa word na crazy kasi nga, I don't know kung how far na yung research mo. Yung mga ganitong klase kasi di ba palagi especially yung mga moms, common na at one point they get crazy. So pala, di ba? So I don't know if you've read up about menopause, so syempre mga hormonal imbalance, no? So my point is maganda na scientifically informed, napakaganda ng kanyang comments, no? Na scientifically informed yung pagbubuo mo ng universe. At the same time, yung journey ng bata sa pagtitindi ng kanyang mom, no? Na ito rin talagang magiging story talaga. And that would be great, no?
Hi. Ako lang, may kailan na may suggestion na ako, you are free to story. Ang maganda sa kwento 4.5 edition is yung perspective na how to negotiate relationships as the way to fight forward. Kasi tingin ko yung story is like for conflict. Kasi surface lang ito lahat, pero tingin ko sa ilalim maraming mga tensions ito. And tingin ko sa outline ng Bella, i-expect ako na may tawag na pagsako ng mga emotions. Pero ito yung suggestion ko talaga. Because the story is like a conflict, the tension can arise from any situation that naturally arise in the scene. May nakita kong parts na may potential for for comedy like naman, meron sa page 57, 59, 61, 64. Potential, meron di pa yung bumibig talaga yung scene ng tatay na yung tinanong si Sam na sakit mo pa. Kasi na pisngi niya, tapos gusto sabi ni tatay, pisngi ko yung kabila para tanggalin. Yung parang ganun. Kasi yung tension ng yung pag nilagay mo sa scene, tapos merong comedic moment, pwede yung parang counterpoint sa mga darker scenes na sinasuggest niya, parang may contrast, tapos parang mas madali hindi madali, yung parang mas ma-invest yung reader na parang gusto niyang suyurin yung yung parang dichotomy ng lighter moments, tapos ma-overshadow yung lighter moments ng mga darker moments na gano'n. Bakit ko sinasabi na maganda yung suggestion na about comedic situations? Because comedy or a touch of humor can diffuse the intensity of the sensitive matter of mental disorders. The challenge is to touch, of course, the tension between Kate and Mom, ito talaga yung parang kung saan umiikot yung parang core ng story, yung lahat na contribute sa ano yung magiging relationship nila in spite of the mental illness na experience. Kasi yung driver ng conflict story, yung mental illness, yung sinabi nila ni Angelina tsaka ni Miguel. So, the tension that arises from comedic situations would build up and make it inevitable that this pent-up pressure will blow up as the climax of the novel. And then how Kate recovers restores the order to the family, where the family is transformed from what it was before to what it is now after that. Kumbaga, parang tingin ko lang, it's a sort of story transformation na yung nakaraang mundo, yung parang track pa siya sa pag-negotiate niya sa relationship yung mga niya na may mental illness, na-discuss nila. Tapos pag dumanas ka sa threshold na yung pent-up na parang mga tension, tapos kailangan na talaga i-reveal lahat yun. Hindi siyempre, dapat mag-confrontation si Mom at saka si Kate kung ano yung demands nila for each other, ano yung gusto nila. Tapos doon na yung malalaman nila kung saan yung dulo ng kwento. Will matatransform ba yung family nila for the good? Or would it be, siyempre, for the magpo-fall apart na yung family after that event? I think, sa akin lang, personal experience, kasi ko alam how to be a 17-year-old this time. I think 17-year-olds like to address family issues, especially pag gusto niya, yung na-transport siya sa bagong lugar. Siyempre, pag mahanap siya ng friends, ayun yung pag-usapan yung support sa family. Evident na dito. Pero yung point is yung repression. Gusto niya itago yung mga problema ito. Ayun yung hindi malaman ito ng mga... Pero, source of tension na yun. Kasi yung comedic moments, yun yung parang nangyayari. Yung mag-create ka ng comedic moments na yun, the more that she tries to hide her, yung pinatawag si Peto, parang yun yung fruto na parang ang pagbibili, yun yung comedic na situation. Kasi the more you suppress something, the more na nare-reveal yan siya in the most unexpected situations. So I think na there will be events na, di ba, test niyo yung family secret. Hindi na family secret, yung family problems din. Pero there will be events that the 17-year-old will be forced to confront that family issues.
First off, I really appreciate this work. Just like some people mentioned, I can relate to this and living with someone who has mental illness. So given that they're asking for more establishment of how the mother can be depressed or bipolar, I think another source of tension would be the daughter's expectations of the mother as an adult. Like, we don't know then at the start, did Kai see her mother as a role model before she accepted the mental illness. So now that the mental illness is, that her depression is infiltrating their life, how does that change her image of the mother? I think another way to build the conflict then is the realization that the mother is a human, an adult who's not perfect like her. And I sort of disagree with the fact that she has to be full on crazy, because if depression. It's a very quiet, very quiet negativity, and it arises first from anger. Like, why can't this person step up to the responsibility? Why can't this person fix her life, even if I'm supporting her? So I think you can build more on that. So, and maybe we read We Are Okay by the word We Are Okay. Well, it's not about mental illness, but it's about grief and about how it's not said outright that she lost her mom, she was with her grandfather. It's not said outright that the grandfather has a problem dealing with the loss, but we're left clues as to why their home life is different from others. Like, they live on separate sides of the house, so maybe you could make that build up like that. Like, it's quiet. Like, oh, like she runs into a schoolmate, and her schoolmate says, "What? You never go to your lola's room? That's weird." And then she gets this weird. That's not weird to me. So yun siya napapaisip. And while she's dealing with the grief, she also lost her grandfather. I think. So when she's dealing with the grief of losing her grandfather, she starts to get to know her grandfather in that sense. So I think that's another way to approach it. And yeah, and in the synopsis, I feel like there's a lot of much help from secondary characters, like Aunt Lori, Serge. So I'm looking for more agency from Kite. So I think it will help if you focus on the mother-daughter and like Serge said, the dad. Like, what is also the conflict between them, just to feel also like why can't she step up? Yun.
Yun na lang ang hindi ko nasabi kanina. Kaya kung tinanong kung ito ay CNF o Ludera, yung CNF does not necessarily mean na may conflict ang resources. Kasi pwede mo naman pinag-aaral mo na yung maintindihan eh. Pero kung Ludera to, hindi ko pa nakikita kung ano yung conflict ng istorya. Halimbawa, yung problema ng nanay, maliwanag yun. Yung problema ng tatay, maliwanag yun. Ang hindi ko nakikita rito, yung 17-year-old girl na adolescent to yung adolescent blues meron din yung mga nangyayari sa katawan niya, may nangyayari sa isip niya. Hindi ko ba nakikita rito? Na nakikita ko yung drama nito, kung ganun ka kabata, ganun ka ka-tender, tapos ganun yung nangyayari sa paligid mo, paano mo tinitingnan yung lahat na yun? Sinusulat mo ito kasi ngayon. Pero yung character na pinrate mo 17. So, ano yung problema ng 17-year-old girl na yan? Yung tinanong ko na kanina yun na yung kung parang din nasa characterization level. Hindi ko nasabi kanina na yung gusto ko lang dinawin ngayon, nakapag-character sketch ka na, ano yung conflict talaga niya? Na yung sa dulo, ano yung i-resolve niya?
Hi. Hi, everybody. Ganti ka na nga later. But I noticed with regards to this story, yung level of denial of the dad. With regards to the condition of the mom, it's like, no, it's not just the mom that's parang, no, I'm not crazy. Parang everybody else. Parang, she's not crazy. This is just fine. They're all trying to ignore what's happening, which is kind of parang hindi siya nag-connected sa I used to be close to my family. Kasi parang if you're close to your family, normally you're more open with addressing what your problems are, kung ano, what's bothering you. I was waiting for, siguro may instance na she talked to her dad, na, Dad, we really have to get her checked. Kasi, yun nga, if you're close to your family, you pretty much you don't keep things from each other. You talk about it. And also, I found it a bit unrealistic for a parent to allow his 17-year-old daughter, na galing probinsya, to just go into Home Depot. Kasi I wouldn't. Bagong lipat eh. Bagong lipat from, it's not just bagong lipat from one area to another, but from an entirely different environment to one, from rural to to urban. Tapos this is Manila. You don't just, pag galing ka probinsya, kahit ka nag-business ka dito, hindi ka rin ganun ka explore yung place. You just go from the place you're staying at to the place you need to go. Tapos, parang yun nga, maybe you should, I don't know, fix that part kasi it's unrealistic for a parent to allow. Especially daughter siya in Metro Manila from province nga, di ba? So, parang, what I noticed also about the dad, may pagka, there's something about the way he thinks, extreme rationalization niya, especially when it came to the sorting of the things. Yung pagka-pack rat niya, kasi may in-laws are pack rats, so may times na talagang may yung house na had a lot of boxes, we had to put them all in one place just so we could stay dun sa duman nilang bahay. Parang he's trying to over-rationalize yung reasons, yung decisions niya na kasi kailangan natin umalis because like this, because like that. We have to keep those no matter how ugly the shirts were. Pwede pa natin ibenta yan. Pwede pa natin It's like, I'm guessing this is his way of coping with the situation nila. So, ayun. Overall, it's okay. Pero yun nga, I think you need to, with regards to the characters and their interactions, you need to flesh them out.
Sige po ako. Papromote ko lang yung Gulawan Journal namin. So, there's actually sabi ko. May case din namin na maganda yung introduction ng what is the state of mental illness. May essay doon titigil essay pa. So, maganda lang.
I'm curious about one thing. It seems to me that the comments are all concentrating on the family, helping each other, but I don't know whether it has changed since my time, but we never used to talk to our parents much. We did not confide in them, nor did they confide in us. And if there was any problem between the parents, it was kept hidden from the children. Has that changed? That's addressed to you. Okay. The other is we relied a lot on our friends. So most of the people who knew our secrets were our best friends. I don't see any of that, but of course this is only the beginning of your story. I don't know whether that has changed either for your generation. Are you closer to your parents than to friends? I certainly wasn't. My parents were remote from us. And it was not, especially our fathers, they would never, a big strong man. The children have no say. So most of our confidants were our best friends. So I don't see this here. Or have you changed because your friends are all on the net? Do you still have actual friends? Live blackness. I don't know. My children are older than you are, and I know that their friends. I had friends of my daughters used to practically live in my house. Used to camp there, and I don't see any of that here. It might be because they just arrived in the city, so that there has been no time to develop friendships. But even so, I think maybe as your story progresses, there's something you should consider.
I think that Georgia yata ang ginagawin. Yung Georgia, hindi dahil na tayo. So, kung meron ba? Sandali na lang. One line.
Ano lang, dun sa correctness. Correctness. Kasi ang daming comments na, bakit ganito yung treatment ng pamilya, where it is. So, I think it's okay for the characters, they're just characters in your story, to be incorrect. They're okay if they're wrong. Kasi partly ng growth nila as characters. We don't need to prescribe. Ito yung dapat treatment. They can't use the word crazy. No, they can. They can be wrong, di ba? That's how they develop. Let them be wrong. As long as we know that they're wrong.
Very much. Question number. Siguro dahil nga we're almost done, no? Bigay na natin yung nalalabing oras kaya ng Thank
you so much for taking the time to read and to comment. We appreciate it. Nothing else.
Sure. So, I don't know, I really appreciate it all, and I'll take them into consideration. Ito naman brings me back like with the characterization, the research for the illness. I think that's also why it's taken me a long time to do this. The comment about even the forms and are very useful. So I think totally hash. But it's a story that's very dear to me. And siguro ang question ko lang po, or like what I hesitate maybe about changing at all is the use of the word crazy. Because even kanina when we comment, we use it like baliw. And I don't want to be politically correct. Because I think that's something that you will, hopefully the character will learn, and everybody, or maybe not everybody else, but the people who need to learn it at this point will learn. That's going to be their journey. So that's why I want to use the word crazy. I would even take Dr. Jen's comment to like really make it irreverent type. Like talagang ganun, parang baliw talaga yung tingin nila. Pag-fit in the time. So, yun po. Pero I really appreciate it, and also I would agree with that, but I would still consider how maybe to make the conflict bigger, but at the same time, kasi yun nga parang we have this idea na baliw, ganito ka, magsusunod ka ng simbahan. But there are also other kinds, and I think if I don't know if I put that in a novel, it will just reinforce the thinking that ito yung baliw versus there are different kinds, and then it's just an acceptance. I think the use of the word crazy, parang maybe I think you learn to embrace the use of the word once you learn to embrace the person who is suffering it. But when you don't have a personal experience of it, or you actually think that way na parang that it's happening, then you don't want to use the word crazy. I don't know that's just me. But I really appreciate it all, and I might contact you again for future commenting because
Ako na ng character siya. Ano yung doctor? So anyway, thank you for the session.